Hi everyone, this is Meredith Hartley from Me Squared Solutions, and welcome to our first podcast. I wanted to talk about a question that we got on the Facebook page after yesterday's article about why it's kind of, sort of, totally your fault your customers are ignorant. One of our readers asked, question, how do you bridge the gap when the information disparity is rather large? In other words, in a 20-second soundbite age, how do you suggest articulating complex subject matter and details? And this is a major hurdle. We're supposed to be educating our customers, giving them information, but one of the problems is that the information we're trying to give them is by nature complex. If it was easy to understand what I do, you wouldn't need to hire me to do it for you. But I think it has a lot to do, as I mentioned on our Facebook page, with this apocryphal Einstein quote that said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And I'd add to that, if you can't explain it simply, you don't really understand your customer's question enough. And as I said on the Facebook page, let me read you what I wrote there. I think that first you have to reframe how you're looking at the problem. No matter how complex the concept or process you're explaining is, customers are really only asking one thing. Can you make the risky safe, the impossible possible, the slow fast, the boring interesting, the hard easy, the illegal legal, or the expensive cheap? And they need to know that in that first 20-second soundbite. And that's one of the problems you have when you're an expert. Especially businesses and really business-to-business service providers, I think, have this problem, this cultural rut we get stuck into, where we don't realize we're doing it, but we're really trying to explain things from our point of view and not the customer's point of view. This might take the form of if you were to ask a photographer, tell me what your process is like, tell me how you work with customers. They'd start describing it from their perspective. Well, I meet with customers, and I ask them these questions, and I try to evoke this kind of feeling for my customers, and I try to accomplish these things, and these are the technical tools I use to give you better results, and that's what our explanations end up sounding like. When what a customer really wants to hear is, you want to know about my process? Here's what I do. I ask questions to make sure that this awesome thing happens for you. I use top-level equipment because it means that I can get a better shot the first time. It means that if I can salvage a shot that wasn't going to be good otherwise, it means I have the skill to turn shots into awesome results for you. You have to make sure when you're explaining something, you explain it from what the customer really wants to know. And they want to know, how are you going to fix my problem? Because all of them have problems. If someone comes to you to take pictures of them, they have a problem. They have a need that isn't being filled yet. And they want to know, can you fix this problem for me? Can you make me look good in this picture? Can you really capture those moments? Or are you going to be one of those photographers who is always clicking a picture the minute after a good shot? They want to know if you can really solve that problem for them. So it takes practice. Be patient with yourself. But focus on explaining things from the customer's perspective. And you can do that simply by going back to those 7 things that customers love to buy. All products and services fall under those categories, and that is making something that is dangerous or risky safe, something that is impossible possible, something that is slow faster, something that is boring interesting and entertaining, making something that is hard or difficult easier, making something illegal legal, or making something expensive cheaper or more cost-effective. Always go back to those questions, and you'll be on to explaining things to customers in a way they can understand. I'm Meredith Hartley. Thank you for listening. If you have a minute, please go to the top right of our page and sign up for our newsletter. We're going to be sending out exclusive content, special inside tips on crisis management and business development that are only available to our insiders. You'll even get to be a beta tester and get free access to some of our products before they're available to anyone else. Again, I'm Meredith Hartley, and thank you for listening.